Alright guys, so you're looking for an awesome stereo system
for your 2015 through 2017 Toyota Camry.
And you want something that looks good, that just operates smoothly, and that bumps a little bit, then I've got the right one for you. So if you stick around, I'll show you this awesome ASure radio that is got all the goodies: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, backup camera, all that good stuff. And I'll show you the unboxing, how to take out your old radio and then install it, even the backup camera. Then we'll go all over the little features that this thing has. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some fun, because here we go. Alright guys, this beauty came all in one package, so let's break it down, and I might add it came fast too. And it looks like it comes in 3 individual boxes. So let's start with the smallest one first and see what we got. Alright, and this looks to be the rear view camera. And it comes with everything you need to install it, which is the rear view camera and all the wiring, video wiring that you need. And we've got the all-important screws to, I guess, help you put it in if you need them. Then next we're going to go with the medium box, and let's open that up. And in here you get the dash kit, a cool little screwdriver if you need one, and some extra screws, and then all the little goodies that you need to put in the stereo to make it work. And don't fret, I know it looks like a lot, but of course they give you a little diagram just in case you need to make sure you know that you got everything and you know what it is. Then here's the last box, the fun one. Let's check out and see what we got in here. Okay, it says in-car infotainment 8-core series. So let's open up the box. And the first thing that pops out is a warranty card with says 100% satisfaction guaranteed, and you get a 1-year manufacturer warranty. Yay! Then you get some safety warnings, then a quick sheet on the canvas, the all-important user's manual, and a sheet that has a quick tutorial on where to plug in all of your good stuff to go into your new stereo. Then underneath here we have, yay, the faceplate. And here's a quick look at what it looks like. Nice 10.1-inch screen. And then we got the side view and the top where all your stuff goes, and I'll show you that more of that goes in here in a second. And then the very back and the bottom. Then it comes with the microphone, external. Now it's time to put the various harnesses and connectors into your back of your radio. But remember, let's follow the #1 golden rule. When putting in connectors, make sure that you put them straight in and that you check them after you stick them in to make sure that they have seated properly and don't come out. So we're going to start from left to right, putting these in. And the first one is going to be the power cable. And it's this big guy right here. And the cool thing is ASure is already pre-put in your canvas. And make sure that you take note of this right here, the actual writing on the canvas, because this is going to correspond with your canvas setup, and it's going to be this one, which is simple, and it has that little sign right there, because without that you won't be able to set up your canvas and your steering wheel controls. So this right here is the one that we're going to stick right here in the power port, and like I said, you want to go straight in and then hear a click and press on the sides. Don't pull on your actual wiring. And then once it's in,
then you want to make sure that you can't pull it out. Then we move on to the next port, and it's going to be this guy right here, and it's this harness right here, which is your RCA cables. You have your stereo RCA, and then your mic in, and then some video in cables, and same procedure, in, straight in till you hear a click. And just remember, when you're pushing these in, have something underneath that's not going to scratch your actual radio screen, and then don't push too hard, otherwise you're going to damage the radio screen. That's why you want to be a little bit careful. And then on this same spot here, you have the microphone in. So at this time, if you want to use the provided microphone, you can go ahead and attach that with this little guy right here and this little guy right there. And all you have to do is plug it in and set that aside. Okay, next spot is going to be right on the canvas and main circuitry part here. And that's going to just fit right in there and pop it in. Then comes the 4-pin USB port. And this is where you're going to have to make a decision whether you want to use their provided USB connection right here, or if you already have a USB connection inside there, you might be able to use, they provide this one, and it connects to the back of the already installed USB port that's in there, and it just goes right into there. So you have a choice whether you want to do that or not. I'm going to use this one right here, so I'm going to put that in right there. Next is your 6-pin USB cable, and that one goes right next to it. Then for the last port right here, you have your backup camera video in, and you stick that right in there. Now for our last connection, which is the GPS right here. That's the box, and all you do is fit it in there and screw it on, and then use an 8mm wrench to tighten it up, so make sure it doesn't back out on you. Now it's time to install the screen into the dash kit, and all you have to do is you have 4 screws right here, right here, right here, right here, and they were provided in your little bag along with your screwdriver, and then they correspond to the 4 screws on the back of here, 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 and here. So we'll do that now. Okay, and that's what the finished product looked like, and it's not going to come out. Now set this aside because we still have to take out the factory radio and then put the controls for your climate down here. Let's do that now. All right, to start the radio removal process, what you're going to do is take out the climate air vents, pop that up with your pry tool, and then set that aside. Then the center console, you want to pop that little piece out and set that aside. And then there's 2 screws that you're going to have to take out the center shifter. And sometimes it's easier to remove the shifter knob first before you take this actually off. Then there's 4 screws that you take out to take out the center console, and then just gently pop it out. And to actually remove it, there are a little plug right there where the cigarette lighter and the USB get held onto, and then you can set that aside. Then you have 4 screws, 2 on top and 2 on the bottom for the actual stereo that you need to take out. Now you can actually remove the stereo, yay, by gently rocking it back and forth, And now then you can take out your harnesses from the back.
Okay, now to get your climate controls out, you want to go to the side, and on the bracket here, there's one screw here, and you got to take off all these nuts. And then once you take this side off, and then you do that same on the other side, then you can just pop this off. Right here, it's been holding on by a clip right here, and on the other side, right there. And then you just push this out and your climate control will come off. Now, before you're totally done with the radio, you want to make sure that you get these clips right here so you can put it on your new stereo dash kit, and they look like this when they come out. And it's, like I said, it's right there. And what you're going to do is just pry it up with like a little small screwdriver or something, and then pop it out. And then you want to slide them on this little post right here.
Now move down to the factory radio dash clips right here. And there's one on this side and one on that side. And you're going to do the same thing as you did up here and take these off, because they're going to go on the aftermarket dash kit on the same spot.
Now to reinstall, it's the exact opposite. And this is where those clips are going to slide into. And you're going to do it just like this, making sure this is obviously the right way. And then you're just going to slide it down and clip it in. Okay, first thing you want to do is come over to your battery and disconnect the negative cable so you don't create a spark or short out the circuit when putting in your harnesses.
Now installing the unit, we're going to want to follow the golden rule of this part, which is you want to plug in and start with the car harnesses first before you transfer over to the stereo harnesses, because there might be some of these harnesses, the clip-on harness right here, that you will not use. So again, always start with the car harnesses and work this way towards the stereo harness. All right, guys, it's going to be a little hard to see, but we're just going to plug things in. We're going to start with this one right here because it's the closest one to me, and we'll just start seeing if things match up. And this one looks like it's going to match up, and we heard it snap, and there we go. That one's to that one. And then we'll start with this little guy right here, and it's either this or that one. So let's try this. Nope. And it's going to be this guy right here, looks like. And that one goes to that. So there's two down. Now we've got this one here. And let's see if anything fits that. And it looks like that's going to fit that. So since that one was fitting there, this part is for your backup camera, which is going to go, and you are going to hook up from your harness on your radio this little guy here, which, remember, this one was for the backup camera right here. You're going to hook these two together. And again, that's coming from this one right here, because there is another one that you have for the backup camera, but that is not going to be used. It's this guy. So that gets put in there. And then make sure that you tape these up when you're all completed so they can't come loose. All right, and then we have this one right here, and we'll hunt to see if there's another one that looks close to that, and I believe it looks like this guy is going to fit. And yes, let's see, is this one going to, oh, this one is going to go right there. And of course you have the climate control wire that you have to plug back into your climate controls right here. is for the USB cable, so this gets plugged in to that. So in my case, I'm only going to have one left over, which is this little guy right here. Then you want to go ahead and plug in your antenna, and that is connected to the one that you had plugged into the car, which is right here. And that goes into this little spot labeled antenna, just like this.
Now connect aux L to aux L in and aux R, which is right, to the corresponding aux R in. And these two have to be taped up.
Okay, and then the only last one is this right here, and I don't think there is a slot for it. And this guy right here. So like I said, there's going to be a couple that you're not going to be using. Now it's time to temporarily put back your stereo in its spot here, and we're going to tuck in some wires like your GPS right here. You can either just have it loosely based in the back right here, or you can peel off the little sticky right here and stick it somewhere in the top up here. Just make sure that it doesn't interfere with the wiring and the placement of your stereo, but it can be tucked back there, it doesn't matter. And then you want to place your microphone too in a spot where it can be fished out and clipped on somewhere on your dashboard or wherever you want it. That way you can hear, people can hear you when you talk. And just as a side note, if you don't have a pre-installed backup camera, ASure gave you that one in the kit, and I will show you a general guideline on how to go ahead and install theirs and run that to the back.
Everybody's going to have a different placement where they want to place it, so I'll show you a quick tutorial on how to do this here, and this will give you an idea on exactly how to do it, and then you can place it wherever you want to in the back. Mine has already have one in there, so that's why I'm doing it this way. First, we're going to take this line here that they gave you, but you plug this end into this little guy here, which I told you is the backup camera RCA jack. So you plug this in, and then you make sure that this is taped off so it can't come out. Then you have all of this line, so to speak, and you take this all the way back to wherever you want your backup camera to be, which usually is in the very back on the lift gate, and then you run that underneath the molding. Then you grab your camera, and it has an end like this with these two. This is the RCA video, and you plug the RCA video into the line that you had dragged all the way to the back. This one, you plug that in. Then you have this extra little line right here, which this little guy right here that's in the kit goes into the end here and gets plugged in, and then, like I said, taped over. And these two lines right here that's hooked onto this is what goes into your negative side. The black goes into the negative side of your backup light, and the positive side goes into the positive side of your backup light. So that, and then you just place your camera wherever you want it to place it, and you are good to go.
So now it's time to reconnect the negative side of the battery, and to make sure all the functions work, like the backup camera and all that, before we button everything up, because we don't want to do that and then find out something is wrong in here. So let's do that now. All right, so this is what the startup screen is going to look like. All right, and here's the home screen, and in order for this to work properly, you're going to have to set up the canvas before you do anything else. And that is as follows. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is touch this button here, Then scroll over to car settings. Then you're going to go to factory setting down here, and then hit factory setting, and then type in 1617. Confirm. Then you're going to scroll down to can type set. Hit that. Hit can type set. Then remember the canvas type was simple for mine. So scroll over to simple. Hit simple. Then Toyota. Then Camry right there. And then pick the generation, which mine's a 2016. And then the version, which is middle low. And there you go. Your version's in there.
And I just want to say, guys, before we get actually into this, this stereo is awesome. The screen is gorgeous. Just the display is absolutely beautiful. The backup camera was awesome. I'll show you that here in a second. The display, I just can't believe the display is so clear, because my last radio was not at all like this. And then the crispness of this actual screen when you're dragging things and zooming in on things, awesome, just absolutely awesome. And then the factory sound that I had in here before, I had to turn the dang radio up. I know a lot of people don't listen to the radio nowadays, but even on just like when I'm listening to Pandora or something like that, the sound in this thing makes my factory speakers outstanding. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm just being biased to this thing, because the factory radio just sucked. I hated it. So anyway, let's get into it. Right now, we're going to check out to see how the backup camera looks, and let's put it in reverse. Oh man, that is sweet. It takes up the whole space on your screen. Beautiful, beautiful picture. And of course, mine's looking at the garage here, and then you have your nice lines to make sure that you're not going to back up into things. And it's pretty dang accurate. I'm about, I don't know, 6 foot away or so. So yeah, that's pretty accurate. I love it. I mean, it just looks crystal clear, beautiful. All right, guys, now let's get familiar with the home screen. And I'm going to try to show you as many things as I can, but there is so many things that this radio does that I would be here for hours, and you don't want to watch an hour or 2 hour long video. So let's dive into it. Like I said, the home screen looks like this. Usually when you start up, it has a little car on here, and then when you drive, you can see the miles per hour and stuff displayed where that car is, which is an awesome feature. Right now I have the maps on here, and you can change that. There's a little button right here. It's hard to see, but it is kind of illuminated in the background, and you can change from video, maps, YouTube, and Chrome. And I'm going to keep it on maps right now. And then you have your Bluetooth signal right here, and this is how you get into Bluetooth, and we'll do that here in just a second. And then you got back buttons right here, home, and this button is just like what on a tablet. You hit that and it shows you what you've previously done. And if you don't want to use the back button on here, the home screen on here, you do have physical buttons, or not physical, but push buttons on the side for your volume, and then back, home, and power. Now moving on to the side, you have your button for your radio, quick selection, and that's what the radio looks like. And if you listen to your radio, you have your presets over here that you can put in, and then you have your band. You can go back, forward, and then a cool thing, you got a equalizer, and you can customize this to anything that you want. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You even got bottom buttons on here, you know, for volume, and this guy right here, your speakers, front, right, left, and then of course
the up and down buttons to get your specific station right there. Then you have your button for your video playback, and you have preloaded videos in there. We'll click on that one. You can make it bigger if you want, and you do it this way right here. And look at that screen. That is gorgeous. Like I said, this has got a beautiful picture on this. And then to get it back, you just click that and go back to the smaller screen. Then you have your quick button for all your apps, and we'll get that into that in just a second. And then you have your button to go to maps or whatever you want to have this screen go to when you hit that button, and that's in your settings. Then you get your quick button to go to whatever you're listening to on the radio, or if you had Bluetooth playing, it shows it down there. Then of course you have your date and the time and the day, and you can change that in settings. Then you have some quick choices down here like Play Store, radio, and Bluetooth phone right off the bat. And then this is where your Bluetooth music would be showing that you're playing, and you click on that and you have your selection all right here. And of course you have the buttons to go back, forward, and then check out your list of what you have playing in there. And I don't have anything in there because I'm not playing anything right now. And this is another cool little feature. You have this guy right here, which you can move around and stick it on other parts of the screen. And what it is if you click on that, you have more selections on, like you can go to Bluetooth music or whatever you have downloaded on your SD card. Then you can hit this little fan button and it will go to your climate controls, and you can preset your climate controls to do whatever you want on this screen right here, which is awesome. Then you have your camera, and if you have your camera set up, like I don't have a camera in here, you can check your camera and hit that button and it'll show all the cameras that you have on here. And then right here, this is the rear ceiling screen, which I don't have, and you can turn that on and you can control it right here. Then you have your notifications right here that this is for maps. This is for like the mute button, or to tell you that you have your speakers on. And then this is to see that you have Wi-Fi connected, and that what's the bar situation, and then of course the time. And then if you want to do a quick pull down, you pull down this is your Wi-Fi button, and you can check your Wi-Fi or turn it on and turn it off. This is your Bluetooth pairing. You can hit that and it will pair your Bluetooth if you have that paired, or you can turn it off. This does a clear of everything to get everything off. This is your settings. You go right back into settings, and then of course you have all your, like you can check your network, your app notification, display, storage, accounts, Google, system, and about car device. And then you have your car settings right here. This is a quick way to get into your car settings for general, Navi software, brightness, radio region, default, and key light setting. And there's so many things you can do. Like in general, you can check if you want the parking to come on, key illumination, the beep sound when you hit the like one of these prompts, reverse mirror, reverse mute, hand gestures. I mean, just a ton of things you can do. Of course, the Navi software, you can customize that if you want to. The brightness, which is also, if you pull down this menu and pull it down once more, then you have all these settings again, and then you have the brightness and the volume, and then that screen off button shuts the screen down, which that is right over here in the corner, and that shuts it off if you want to do nighttime driving. And that is your home screen. Now let's check out the apps. So we'll hit this, okay, and then you have a plethora of apps, and you can also download from the Play Store, which it has right there, which is very cool. But we'll go over some of the ones that are on here, like the 360. If you have a bunch of cameras, you can hit that. I don't have them right now, but it will show you all the cameras and all the angles that you have on there. Then aux, if you had set up something like an external DVD player or something in your RCA cables, all you have to do is hit that button and there you go. You'll be right into there. Then you have your Bluetooth music app and you go right into that. And of course, I'm not connected to Bluetooth right now, but it shows you what the device name is, which is this device, and the pin, which is 0000. And all you do to connect to your Bluetooth is grab your phone and do like any other tablet or anything and connect to that using these signals, and bam, you are on to Bluetooth. Then you have car info. You hit that, and this thing has a million things that you can do. You got general settings, which you can customize your door locks, light settings, driving aids, air conditioning settings, sound settings, just a ton of things. And the real cool thing about this too is if you hit this button right here, it goes to a ton of things like the oil, which you can check your miles per gallon, and amplifier, which is just another way to check your speakers and the bass, the volume, treble, and then the TPMS monitoring system, and it shows you your tire pressure and all that. I don't have that set up right this second, but you can do that on this really easy. Then you have a prompt for your car settings, and that goes right back to there. Then you have your CD, which is whatever you preloaded on your SD card or memory stick that you plugged in to your USB cable. Then of course you have Chrome, and that's how you get to that, and you can get to your browser. Then you have a quick button for the equalizer, and of course File Explorer. And if you want to put any images in, or the video or music, this is where you would do a quick search to do that. Then we'll swipe over to the next page. You've got instructions, and you don't have to carry around your manual. You have it all right here, which is really cool. Anything that you want to know, all you have to do is hit the button right there, and it will tell you all about what you need to do to access that. Then of course you have a quick app for maps. Let's click on that. We're going to Google. Okay, and then once maps loads, then check this out. Okay, Atlanta, and then zooming is just nice, easy. You want to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and then we want to go, let's go downtown. Nice, easy zooming, and bam. I mean, just beautiful. I mean, the screen is huge. First of all, if you can see anything you want to see, and then obviously it's got everything that a normal GPS would have in it. You can pick the spots you need to go to. I mean, just absolutely cool. And then music, which is basically your preloaded, downloaded music. Then My Car, which tells you what kind of stuff you have on your CAN box, which I told you ours is simple, and then it goes through your model and all that stuff, and you can change all this, upgrade, which you can upgrade the software on this and do all that through here. And then you can do diagnoses, which if you plugged in an OBMD reader, you can do it right through here. Then of course you have Play Store. Then this is how you get to your radio. Then you have this right here, which you hit that, and this allows you to do a bunch of things that you have stored on your memory card, and it allows you to edit and stuff like that. Then you have the restart button, which if you need to use that, you hit the restart and it'll clear your screen and restart the radio. And then of course screen off app, and then more. Then you have screensavers, and you can choose different screensavers that you want. This is the factory preloaded one on there. Then you have screencast, which you hit that, which gives you different options to cast whatever screen that you want on, like 360, which is your camera, or aux or Bluetooth. Then of course you have settings. and that goes back to this general page right here. Then you have your steering wheel learning, and for some reason, once you set your CAN box to whatever vehicle you have, if for some reason you needed more buttons on here to learn, you can do it in this mode right here. Very easy. Then you have a toolbox, which, like I said, that's that OBD match. And then you have one-click setup, a map copy, GPS monitor. You can customize all your settings right there. Then you have TV. Then you have your video button, which, like I said, takes you directly to your preload SD card videos. Then you have a wallpaper selection, and you have tons of wallpapers that you can set up to where it will come on the screen when you're not in use. Then YouTube. It would actually be fun to watch TV on here because the screen is so large. Okay, let's search up old HurstysGarage and see what we can find out. HurstysGarage. And see, everything's nice and fast. And pops up right away. Oh, and look at that ugly little mug right there. Yay! And here's all my videos. And let's just see how fast it goes on here. Let's pop one on here. Let's do a save a little money and reuse your clean PCV valve. And bam! And let's get some volume up on there.
And now we're living it, and it's truly, truly special.
And that was junk.
Hey guys, HurstysGarage here.
There we go.
Your old PCV valve out of your engine.
Everything's fast though.
And,
I mean, you don't have to sit there and take a year to get things going here. And you click that off, and you can keep it with a small picture-in-picture right here, and it will get rid of it. Then you have Z-Link, which this is a screen mirroring app, and all you have to do is hit that, and it will either screen mirror your phone, or you can access CarPlay and Android Auto through here and do it either by Bluetooth, or you can use your USB cable and plug into there, and it will automatically come up. And of course, to access that Z-Link, you're gonna have to use your phone, connect to Bluetooth, and then it'll come up on your screen, which is that BC8 Android. Hit that, and then you put in 000. Then OK. Then it says connecting, please wait. And let's see how long it takes. And this is what CarPlay or Android Auto, which I have Android, this is what it looks like on this screen. And you have your, just like any other Android Auto, you got your maps right here, and you can change that. Then you have your music that you're playing on. I have that on Spotify right there. And then you have a weather app right here if you want. And obviously you can change these. And to do that, you just hit that little button and you go through just like any other CarPlay or Android Auto. The button's right there. Get that back. And what's cool, yes, you do have your microphone button to do this hands-free and tell them exactly what you want to do, just like any other Android Auto CarPlay thing. And of course, it has those buttons down on the quick buttons, which are the Navi. I have Spotify on there. Then your phone, and then, of course, the settings button on here. And one awesome little goodie that I'll show you right now is when you open up your door or your trunk or anything like that, it will show you right on screen what you have open. And I opened up my driver's door and it showed it on there. That is so cool. And finally, you can install back every piece that you had taken out in the same order that you took it out with. And here is the final fit and finish of what it looks like. And it is gorgeous. There's only a slight difference from the original chrome to theirs because it matches this right here, but is really not noticeable. But everything else
is absolutely perfect. So here's the skinny, guys. This stereo, I'll say it 50 million times if I have to. It's freaking awesome. And Hurstys Garage recommends it.
This is crazy good, y'all.
So if you have any questions and concerns or anything like that, drop it in the comments down below and I'll answer them for you. And basically just go out there and get on the internet. I'm gonna leave the description down below and buy yourself one, because these things are awesome and it's gonna totally transform your ride. But enough of that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and hopefully I did a good job for you guys, and share the crap out of it. And on that note, I guess I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks, ASure. Give you a thumbs up. All right, HurstysGarage out. Peace.